Good morning, everyone. Oh, what day is it? Tuesday, April 13th. Good morning, everybody. Make sure you hit the like button on your way in. Hit the share button. Subscribe to the Hood Table if you're not already subscribed. Please and thank you very kindly. I hope everybody's having a good morning thus far. I have to be at work in like 30 minutes, but y'all know I work from home, so I can literally work up to 7 o'clock and then punch in right here on my right at my computer. But anyway, I got my cup of coffee. Just wanted to chit chat with you guys over some coffee this morning, some good old coffee. Ooh, let me turn this down. Mm. Okay, so as you can see by the title, I'm just going to be discussing a few more updates on the Minnesota police fatal shooting of Daunte Wright, which was about this officer who said she meant to use her taser instead of her gun. Now, a lot of us find that hard to believe, especially since this officer is a 20-year-old senior on the police force. So, a lot of people find that very hard to believe that this officer, Kimberly Potter, we finally found out her name. Her name is Kimberly Potter, and she's a 20-year senior for the police department up there in Minnesota. 20 years she's been working there, and she still don't know the difference between her gun and her taser. Now, the family of Daunte Wright has been very vocal. Family, friends, supporters. There's riots everywhere, protesters everywhere. The other night, all of the Minnesota teams decided to cancel games, for fear of, maybe riots or some of their fans being involved and or hurt or injured or whatnot, caught up in the protest. Uh, of course, with all those people up there who might be protesting, and there are protesters, but of course, if you have some big events and a lot of fans, a lot of vehicles, that could potentially mean, more destruction of property. If it goes, if the protesters get violent or, turn into a riot, like we are seeing in other places, like in Portland. Portland, Oregon, for instance, they've been having riots since the shooting, since the death of Daunte. The Portland Police Department declared a riot last night, outside the city's Penumbra Kelly building following a vigil in memory of Daunte Wright, the 20-year-old black man who was fatally shot during a traffic stop in Minneapolis on Sunday. How do they say that? Oregonian newspaper, citing reports at the scene, reported that a crowd swelled to at least 200 outside the building that houses law enforcement agencies. Let me see if I can share this with you guys. Share screen. Okay. Okay, so that's just a little clip right there of what's going on. Good morning, Candace. That's just a little clip of going on in Portland, Oregon. They declared a riot last night. People are protesting and rioting over the death of the 20-year-old Daunte Wright, who was killed by police officer Kimberly Potter. What is going on up there in Minneapolis, Candace, homegirl? I sure was hoping you had tuned in last night because I wanted to talk to you about um, the driving laws that they was talking about up there with it being illegal to have air fresheners or some type of incense or whatever hanging from your rear view window because they had first said, well, that's what we were hearing first, that was the reason why they pulled Dante over. And then while talking last night on our show last night, I found out that it is also the same law in Nebraska. Like, did you know that, Candace? I had no idea we had a law like that here where it was illegal to hang anything from our rear view mirror. That's what I'm talking about. Like you can't even place a handicap play card there either. I never knew that. And then I was talking last night on our show how you can walk through a parking lot anywhere in this city, any grocery store, any job, and somebody has something hanging from their rearview mirror. But then this morning, I was watching the news trying to get a little update and found out that they said he was pulled over because he had expired plates. And I was like, oh dang. So we then went from he got pulled over because he had air fresheners in his rearview mirror, to he had expired plates. And because even his mother, we showed a video of her the other day saying he called her on the phone when he was getting pulled over and said, Mom, they pulled me over because I have air fresheners hanging from my rearview mirror. But then this morning I found out that they claimed they pulled him over for expired plates. Right. They switching it up. They switching it up. And then come to find out the lady is a 20-year-old senior. Kimberly Potter, the Minneapolis police officer, is a 20-year senior of the police force who accidentally pulled a taser instead of her gun. I just can't get over that fact right there. I just can't. I can't. And then come to find out, they say that because of the Minnesota law, she might not even be charged with a crime. So let's watch this video of the civil rights lawyer discussing that part. So let me go ahead and share. Yeah, you know how it is. When it comes to shooting us, they'll give us 20 different thousand stories, anything for the officer to be, not charged. Yeah, we know how it goes.
Rights attorney, former prosecutor, CNBC contributor. David, George Floyd's brother, emotional on the stand today. In most cases like this, you'd likely see the family member just before the prosecution rests, but not in this case. What do you make of it?
Shep, Minnesota has kind of a weird law. Typically, a trial goes in two phases. The first question is, did the person do it, yes or no? If the answer is yes, you move along to a second phase of the trial, which we call the punishment phase. And that's when you would have heard from his brother during the punishment phase. Minnesota lets you put him in the front part of the trial, which is weird. It's controversial, but I think it was effective today.
What can the defense do now when they get their turn tomorrow to
create that's the
some
wrong video.
Doubt?
I just realized that's the wrong video. My bad. That was about George Floyd. And yes, we have been following George Floyd as well, but that is not the video that I was trying to play. Oh, where was it? Officer who shot. Oh, that was the video. Oh, my bad. Dang it. That was the video. You said the way speaks for itself. Hold on. I think it's maybe further down further along in the video. Hold on, let me pause this back. But yeah, I think it's further along in the video where he started to talk about right. So let's see. But yeah, and then I want to talk about something else too. But let me go back to this real quick.
His brother, emotional on the stand today.
Floyd's death. For example, anytime you can say,
but the police chief said it appears to be an accident. The city managers, where you go, I want to ask you about the shooting of Daunte Wright. As a former prosecutor, how would you approach this? Today, the city manager said the officer deserves due process, but the police chief said it appears to be an accident.
Chef, I can't remember the last time I wanted to answer a question less than I want to answer that one, because I don't like my answer. Having watched that video, I think 20 times today and reviewed the laws from Minnesota probably an equal number of times, I think the officers should have been fired immediately, because there are points of no return with regard to making mistakes on your job. But with
Exactly.
that being said, I don't think you can charge this officer with a crime under Minnesota law. I do think that should be reviewed by at least 3 other attorneys to see if they think I'm crazy or just flat out wrong. And you also do need to take a look at the violent tendencies that led to this violent mistake. And it should result in a change in policies to make sure that other kids aren't getting shot when they don't need to be.
You know, even if it were just tasing, I say just, even if it were tasing, you tase someone for getting back in the car and attempting to escape. I guess that's a judgment call you make on scene, but not knowing which is which seems, well, pretty important.
Exactly, Shep. I mean, exactly.
Pretty
I think we
important,
should use common sense in how we treat
to
people.
say the
I
least.
didn't think any of the level of force that happened here was necessary. I think that if officers can't tell the difference between firearms and tasers, we need to reevaluate whether or not they need to be carrying
Thank
tasers.
you.
But also, I think they use them far too readily under circumstances where it is simply not necessary. And that's what leads to these types of mishaps.
Exactly.
David, thank you.
Exactly. He hit it dead on the nose right there. They use them tasers way too much. And that's probably the problem. While they be accidentally, they just be trying to shoot. That's all it is. They just be trying to shoot. They're trying to hit you with something. And in the spur of the moment, where everything and all tensions on high and everything, their mind might get discombobulated because they're so used to just pulling something. And that's what we were saying the other night. Like, the police don't even seem like police. I thought were trained to maim, trained to disarm. It seemed like they're only trained to kill nowadays. They just train to kill. But anywho, yeah, we found out who the police officer is. Found out that they saying that she might not be charged because of Minneapolis laws. Child, I don't think I ever. I don't even want to go to the Minneapolis Mall. I ain't never been to the Minneapolis Mall, and have always wanted to go to the Minneapolis Mall on vacation one year. I don't even think I want to go up there to shop. Hell no. But yeah, so mm, there's a GoFundMe. Let me see if I can find the GoFundMe. There's a GoFundMe. It was organized by the aunt of Daunte Wright. Oh yeah, and by the way, the lady, the female officer, Kimberly Porter, who has been on the force for 20 years, that don't know her gun from her taser, she is 48 years old, by the way. But yeah, Daunte Wright's aunt set up a GoFundMe. It has already raised over $250,000 in less than 24 hours. So their GoFundMe is doing really well, because they're gonna see charges. I don't know if they're gonna stick. As history tells us and history repeats itself, I don't know if the charges are going to stick, but they're definitely going to make sure he has a proper burial service. He does have a son, his son's mother, so yeah, it's a tragedy in itself that he was lost, but then on top of that, it's always a tragedy when an officer is not charged for the crime. So just wanted to give you some update on that. Um, wow. The body cam footage though. Where you can hear the officer yell, taser, 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 and still pull her gun after working for the police department for 20 years. And y'all know that she was Candace, you know that she was training a new officer. She was training a rookie. Do you get what I'm saying here? Do y'all get what I'm saying here? She was training a new officer. And during that training, this 20-year-old officer, this 20-year-old veteran officer, 20 years of experience, and she's training another officer, a new officer. And in the process of that training, she basically trained him to kill. Yeah. Reminds me of some plantation shit. You know how they be training them how to tend to the slaves? Train them how to beat their life out of them? You know what I'm saying? This officer was training another officer, and basically, you know what he learned? You know what this new officer learned? That it's okay to kill a black man, an unarmed black man. It's okay to kill. That's probably why a lot of people are joining the force now. A lot of people who might have something against black people, might have something against other races, might be prejudiced or racist. They probably looking forward to getting on the police force. I mean, in all honesty, anywho, let's move over to something else. We did have some protests here on 72nd and Dodge Street last night. So people here in Omaha, Nebraska, where I am from, for those of y'all who are not here in Omaha, there are protests going on here as well in Omaha, Nebraska. Also, you guys, for some of you guys who might not remember we discussed the guy who was stealing from the mall, the black guy, Kenya Lamont Jenkins, 21 years old, who killed a policeman. It was on March, hold on, right here. Okay, I'm trying to find the video. Is there an updated video? Okay, I'll just read it. Matter of fact, I can share my screen. Okay, let me share the screen. Okay, for some of y'all who might not remember this face right here. This is some Omaha, Nebraska news, y'all. Matter of fact, okay, I found it. Hold up, y'all. Let me stop that video. Let's go over to another video. Yep, at the West Rose. And remember, they chased his butt down, found out that he was shoplifting, and ended up shooting at an officer because he didn't want to be arrested for shoplifting. So let me play this video right here.
Women entrepreneurs connect.
Let me mute the
We actually grew.
Mute the little commercial. Okay, here we go.
The highest callers in the city. West Road. It's a very routine call, shoplifters, and West Roads is actually one of the highest callers in the city.
Omaha Police Union President Tony Connor estimates Officer Jeff Wittstruck has likely responded to hundreds of shoplifting calls in his 4 years on the department.
This officer's mindset was he's walking into a cooperative shoplifter. That's what the dispatch actually said. He walks in, makes contact with them, and then it eventually starts devolving to where he pulls out a gun and shoots the police officer.
Connor says it's that unknown that makes policing so dangerous.
Once a person's mind is made up that they're going to use deadly force against a police officer, they're going to carry out that act. And that's exactly what the suspect was trying to do. He was trying to kill that police officer Friday.
OPD says Jenkins has a known history of resisting arrest. Prosecutors believe he's from the Chicago area and are working to figure out any criminal past he may have. Connor says officers understand the choice they make to put their lives on the line, but he says Friday's incident is public proof.
These officers, even under the most stressful event you're ever going to experience, being shot and being injured on the job, they still were able to put out the information to get the suspect under arrest quickly. Keeps the public safe. It keeps everyone safe.
That suspect before a judge Monday.
You should know that you can look at up to 102 years in prison. You understand that, sir, if given the maximum?
Yes.
Prosecutors charged 21-year-old Kenya Jenkins with use of a deadly weapon and fleeing arrest. He now faces first-degree assault on an officer instead of attempted murder. County Attorney Don Klein explains the decision.
Assault on an officer, first degree, actually carries a greater penalty, a mandatory minimum of 3 to 50. So we were looking for the highest penalty that we could get in on this particular case.
Wittstruck is still in the hospital. His wife says that he's in good spirits. Now Jenkins will have to pay $1 million to get out of the jail here.
Okay, so that's just a recap of what happened on Friday, March 12th last month, for those of you who might have forgot that story. But yeah, that fool, basically, we got a little bit of update on him, on Kenya Lamont Jenkins, who they say they believe is from Chicago area. Stewart, Iowa, which is, guys know Iowa's right next to us, right next to Nebraska. But Stewart, Iowa has now placed charges on him as well. This Monday, yesterday, March 12th, Jenkins was in Stewart and allegedly, on March 12th, which was Friday of last month, Jenkins was in Stewart, Iowa, and allegedly committed several vehicular burglaries or several vehicle burglaries. During these burglaries, they said several items were stolen from 3 unlocked vehicles, including credit cards, checkbook, and a firearm. That is where he got the gun from. The gun that he used to shoot that officer at the Westrose Mall at JCPenney's, where he was, they were trying to arrest him for shoplifting. The gun he stole from a car in Stewart, Iowa. They said at least one of the credit cards was used to purchase gasoline in Stewart. The firearm is believed to have later been used on the assault on the Omaha police officer. And they said that case is not related to any other vehicle burglaries and vehicle thefts that occurred in Stewart on March 22nd, 2021. Because, of course, by then he was, in jail. But, yeah, he still has a $10 million bond on him, facing several charges, including felony trafficking, stolen firearms, burglary of a vehicle, unauthorized use of a credit card, and several counts of thefts, including, of course, shooting that officer here in Omaha, Nebraska. He's still downtown at the Douglas County Jail, $10 million bond, felony assault on an officer, and flight to avoid arrest. So that's the update on Kenya as well. Kenya Lamont Jenkins, 21-year-old. Boy, these children out here, these children, y'all. But yeah, anywho, so that's all I have so far. Let's see. Did I drop the link? I was trying to find the GoFundMe link. See if I got the GoFundMe link for Daunte Wright. Let me see. GoFundMe Daunte Wright. Daunte's funeral and future care of Daunte Jr. Okay, here it is. So I'm about to drop the link for Daunte Wright, the 20-year-old young black man who was killed the other day by a Minneapolis police officer. I just dropped the link to the GoFundMe. The GoFundMe is up to $253,620 right now. It was a $15,000 goal. It was a $15,000 goal. That shows you how much people support those who they truly believe was murdered senselessly at the hands of police officers. They wanted $15,000 for a proper burial and money to help take care of his son, and they already got $253,000. So yeah, that's the link. I just dropped it. If God places it on your heart to donate, to Daunte Wright, his aunt Kelly is the one who set up the page to take burden off of, Daunte's mother, Katie Wright, and her husband, Aubrey, and, proper burial, take care of his son. His son's mother, China, the one, oh gosh, this is so sad. It's so sad. If you want to donate, feel free to donate. Oh boy, we might be live again later tonight. I don't know if we're going to discuss more updates on news or whatnot, but I will post a link later this evening if we do decide to go live. So until then, you guys, in the meantime and in between time, all my hoodies, supporters, subscribers, members, uh, stay safe, be blessed. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the Hood Table if you're not already subscribed. Um, Also, remain vigilant at all times. Remain vigilant and don't forget, keep it hood. Bye.